everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, I read in the Sunday Times last week about 4 policemen who have been shot in Florida. 2 of them were killed. Now, I've done some videos critical of police, but in general, I hold them in pretty high regard. I've even done fundraisers for injured officers and the families of officers who have been killed in the line of duty. So I do realize that it's a very risky job. But one of the things that I've been talking about in my videos is the need for better police training and screening. I believe that these things would make the police safer and people who have to deal with them safer. In one of the incidents in Florida, for example, 2 policemen who got shot, fortunately they survived, but they confronted 3 suspicious men and a scuffle broke out, and during that scuffle they were shot. Now, I've never had any police training, but it seems to me that before confronting these people, they should have called for backup. Admittedly, I'm an outsider. Like I said, I have no police training, but it just seems like common sense that they would want to outnumber the suspects that they were confronted, and they would want to have people backing them up. I mean, these were potentially dangerous people. The other 2 police who were killed in Florida, tragically, were conducting a traffic stop. Now, this is something that police do all the time. I mean, over the course of a year, police probably conduct many thousands of traffic stops. Now, I don't know the details of what happened there, but now I haven't been pulled over by the police very much because I drive pretty safely and I obey the traffic laws most of the time. But it has happened, and I know what I should do when the police pull me over. Like, I don't go reaching for my wallet or into the glove compartment while I'm driving along, because the police see that activity. They don't know what I'm doing, and so that could put them on edge, make them think that I'm trying to get a weapon or hiding something. So what I do is now sometimes I pull over right away, sometimes I drive to a well-lit public area and pull over there. That makes both myself and the police safer. And then I put my hands on the top of the steering wheel so the police can see them. And then I sit there and I wait for the police to approach me, and I follow their instructions. And when I do reach for my wallet or my license, I do so slowly, deliberately, letting the officer know what I'm doing, and I don't make any sudden moves. But I've noticed that the police, when they approach me, there's no one set way they do it. Some police approach on the driver's side, some police approach on the passenger's side. Now, I think that probably approaching on the passenger's side is a bit safer, because then the police aren't exposed to passing traffic. But I've noticed that there's no one way that they do this. And I'm wondering if there's ever been a study, if it's ever been determined what the best practices are. Also, if there's a second policeman in the car, is there a specific way that he should deploy himself that would enable him to cover his partner safely? Since there is no one set way of doing it, I'm assuming that there has never been a study to try to figure out what's the safest way of doing this. And it seems to me that this is something that should be done. Best practices should be determined, and then the police should be trained in them. That way they would be safer and the people in the car would be safer. Police should also be trained to identify a gun. Now, I know sometimes the lighting isn't good. Sometimes police don't have very much time to make a decision. One of the things that they should be trained in is how to approach a suspect, so that they do have the time to determine what's going on before they expose themselves, so that they don't have to make that split-second decision whether there's a gun or not. But a gun has a very distinctive shape, and police should be trained to be able to determine whether the suspect is holding a gun or a cell phone or a wallet. I mean, people carry a lot of things in their hands, and they shouldn't be shot just because they're carrying something in their hands. Of course, there are some people that all the training in the world isn't going to help. The cop who shot Philando Castile in Minnesota should never, ever have been gotten through the police academy. The two police who murdered Tamir Rice in Cleveland should never have been on the force. And I wonder if the police academy feels pressure to push officers through the academy rather than to screen them out. I think they should kind of take a special operations kind of view of that. When soldiers try to get into the special ops forces in the military, the training is designed to eliminate the weakest and those who are not fit for that. And I think the police academy should take the same approach, weeding out those who aren't fit. That would make all the other cops safer, and those of us who wind up having to deal with the police safer. Thanks for listening.